We're demonstrating PNF, Proprioceptive Neuromuscular Facilitation. This utilizes autogenic inhibition of the muscle spindle and Golgi tendon organ. So we're going to start with the hamstrings, probably the most common thing that you've seen PNF done. And we take the muscle to the point of tension, keep the knees straight, and then we brace ourselves against the leg, and we have the athlete or patient contract the hamstring and push against the shoulder. Now you have to be sure that you remember to tell the patient not to bend the knee, just use the hamstring as they're pushing against you. We hold the contraction for approximately 6 to 8 seconds, and then we say, okay, release. And then we allow the patient to take it to a new point of tension. Usually it's about 5 to 10 degrees additional. Okay, contract your hamstrings, push against my shoulder. Holding that again for the slow count of 6 to 8 seconds. And release, bring it up. Hold that new position for maybe about 20 seconds or so. And then we could have the patient do that same contraction again. Now, I'm going to come around here and do Jennifer's other hamstring just so we keep her balanced out. Take it to the point of tension and don't have the patient bend the knee, otherwise they're going to try to crush your shoulder. Just using the hamstring muscle, push against my shoulder and release. Allow the patient to bring it up a few more degrees. Hold that for maybe 20 seconds or so. Okay, contract against my shoulder again. Again, that slow count of 6 or 8 seconds. And release. Bring that up. Another type of PNF, let's say the patient has difficulty opening their hips. They have some muscle contraction or even joint contraction, fixation. So, nope, don't cross it over. Now, bring the knee down. Stabilize the anterior superior iliac spine on the opposite side. Have your hand on top of the medial knee on this side and tell the patient, push your knee up into my hand. We stabilize the other side. Again, the slow contraction, slow count of 6 or 8. Release, bring it down. Usually can bring it down another 5 or 10 degrees. Hold it there for maybe 20 seconds. And push up against my hand again. And release, bring it down. Hold that for 20 seconds. Usually we do it, they say 2 to 4 times. Usually we do it 3 times per side. And push your knee up into my hand. Nice steady contraction. Release, bring it down. Hold that for 20 seconds or so. And push up again into my hand. And release. Now the patient needs to have a nice firm contraction. Sometimes the patients will try to make it into a contest and they'll try to overpower you, thinking that more is better. In that case, just tell the patient, just a nice steady push is all we need. You don't need to overpower me. Let's say the person has trouble closing their hips. Maybe they have some piriformis issues. So we'll bring the knee up to get the internal rotation. In this case, we'll stabilize the anterior superior iliac spine on the same side, on the ipsilateral side, and we'll use maybe our chest to support the knee. Okay, push your knee against me. This is one where the patient can overpower you and really throw you off. Again, that slow count of 6 or 8. Release. Patient brings it down a few more degrees. Do that again. Push up against me, nice steady pressure. That's all we need, nice steady pressure. And release. Bring it down, then we hold that for 20 seconds. Like I said, usually we do it 3 times per side. Bring this up and over here. Again, stabilizing the same side. Push your knee against my chest. And release, bring it down. Hold that and push again. Great, nice steady pressure. All right, let's have the patient come up. And I'm going to have you in this case stand right here. Let's say the person has difficulty extending their arm. They can't bring their arm back because of contractions, whatever reason. So in this case, we'll have the patient bring their arm back. We'll hold their arm and have them pull forward. Nice steady contraction and release, bring it back up. So again, we would do this 3 times per side. And one of my favorites is PNF on the cervical spine. Go ahead and have a seat. And Anna, can you come around to the front over here? Let's say the patient has a real stiff neck. Maybe it's a very stiff cervical spine, a lot of fixation. I like to do this as a prep for a cervical adjustment. I usually do mostly cervical chair, but that doesn't really matter. This really helps loosen up the cervical spine to get it ready for an adjustment. Let's say the patient is so stiff that they just can't flex their neck over to get a good set on that adjustment. PNF on the cervical spine works really, really good for that. So in this case, we'll have the patient turn away and tuck the chin, kind of a circumduction type maneuver. We'll contact the mastoid process behind the ear, not over the ear. That's what I see people making a mistake, is crushing the patient's ear. You don't want to do that. So I have my hands in a scissors type position. So in this case, my left hand is behind the ear on the mastoid process. My right hand is over on the top of the shoulder, and I have the patient squeeze their head and shoulder together. So the first thing I'll do is, and sometimes the patients can't quite get the straight of it, so I'll say, I want you to push your shoulder up against my hand and push your head to the left into my hand. And again, we hold that for that slow count of 6 to 8 and release, drop it down. Turn your head back to the right. Sometimes the patient will try to turn their head back as they're doing that. We don't want that. We want just kind of a straight circumduction type motion of squeezing the head and shoulder together. This really helps the range of motion to get, and sometimes you'll get an audible release just doing this procedure. Okay, squeeze together again. Nice steady pressure, and release, drop it down, turn to the right. Sometimes the patient won't be able to initially relax that shoulder, so they'll kind of hold it up, so we have to kind of remind them sometimes, keep that shoulder down. So let's go to the opposite side. Turn your head to the left, drop that shoulder, contacting the mastoid process. Again, not this, but a nice scissors position. All right, squeeze your head and the right shoulder together. And sometimes they'll try to overpower you. Just say, no, I don't need that. Just a nice steady pressure and release. Drop that shoulder. Turn your head to the left and tuck the chin and squeeze again. Nice steady pressure and release. And that is proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation. Thank you.